I would like to discuss brain tumor from the point of view of a professor in neurophysiology and also a molecular biochemist. So, brain tumor, as defined, is a kind of a dysfunction, which is actually brought about by a growth of mass of cells that are found inside the brain. So, basically, if you are going to look at it, brain cells do not have pain receptors. So, in other words, if you have a brain tumor, normally the brain does not feel any pain.
So, Dr. Oclarit, ano po ang DNA at ano po ang connection nito, let's say, for the case of this brain tumor?
Kung sa layman's point of view, DNA is actually the chromosome or the gene.
So, yun na
yung pinaka-fundamental sa living cell, yung chromosome or yung genes nandoon sa loob ng cell, lalo na doon sa nucleus.
Ayun. So, yun po ang nagme-make up kung sino tayo.
DNA, yes, tama ka dyan. Ang DNA ay isang blueprint. It dictates the whole activity of the cell, and therefore it dictates the whole activity of the body. Okay. It defines the characteristic of the cell. It defines the characteristic of the tissue as well as the whole system.
So kung anong
meron ka sa ugali mo or sa physical features mo, nandoon yan sa loob ng cell na tinatawag natin DNA. So I will enlighten you insofar as the neurophysiology aspect of the brain tumor. A tumor is defined as mass of cells that are enclosed in a shell, or tumor by definition is a neoplasm. The word neo means new, plasm is cell. So it's a new cell which is not the original cell there. That's why if you say it calls a brain tumor, it must be defined as group of cells that are found inside the brain. Okay. However, when you say a tumor, it could be a secondary tumor or a primary tumor. When you say a primary brain tumor, meaning it is the brain itself that become abnormal.
Ayun. So kakailanganin pa ba ang operasyon sa brain tumor?
Kung yan ay enclosed in a shell, or kumbaga tumor na hindi pa siya nakagalaw, hindi pa siya naka-spread, pwedeng i-excise yan.
Opo.
That is usually stage 1 yan. Nung isang klaseng tumor, usually, pag mayroong brain tumor, titingnan mo na ng doktor kung saan galing yun. Yun ang sinatawag secondary.
Ayun.
Kailangan malaman ng doktor kung primary tumor ba yun or secondary tumor.
Ano kung kaibahan ng primary at secondary?
Ang kaibahan nito, pag sinabi mong secondary tumor, meaning nanggagaling siya sa ibang parte ng katawan na lumipat lang siya sa brain.
Ayun.
So, posible na pwede kang may breast cancer, tapos yung breast cancer mo, nag-transfer siya sa brain, so nagiging brain tumor siya, pero galing siya sa breast.
Ayun.
Yun ay secondary.
Nanganak siya.
Siyan ay secondary tumor.
Ayun.
Ang importante na malaman din ng doktor na kung primary siya or secondary, dahil iba-ibang klaseng tumor, iba-ibang klaseng gamot.
Opo.
So, kailangan malaman yon. Ngunit, mahirap din mag-biopsy ng brain tumor dahil kailangan mong i-open yung skull, no?
Okay.
So, yun ang mahirap doon. Kaso, yun ang kailangan. Dapat malaman kung primary or secondary.
Paano po nakatulong yung paggamit po nila ng DNA supplementation?
Unang-una, kung any abnormality for that matter, kung sabihin natin paano makatulong yung supplementation, sa mga conventional doctor, parang unthinkable yun. Kasi
Opo.
sabi pa nga, kung mayroon na siyang tumor, kailangan tanggalin by surgery,
Opo.
or by chemotherapy, or by radiation.
Opo.
However, from the point of view of nutritional biochemistry, of which I have taken a course on that,
Opo.
It doesn't mean na dahil tumor na siya, na hindi na siya maagapan. Kasi pwede naman patayin yung tumor. Unang-usa strategy ng patayin ang tumor is yung mga anti-angiogenic compounds na kumbaga, pag isang mass of cells na tumutubo yan kasi maraming mga ugat na bago. Ngayon, mayroong angio means blood vessel. So, anti-angio meaning papatayin yung mga
Ugat.
na nagsusupply ng dugo para hindi na tumubo yung tumor.
Yung bad cell na yun.
Ngayon, that's one strategy. Or, provide them the necessary nutrients.
Okay.
Like, for example, to build a new cell or to reconstruct a new cell that is not abnormal, you need to have DNA. So, yung nucleotides na sinasabi natin, ang DNA ay genes nang siyang nagdidictate ng karakteristik ng isang cell.
Opo.
So, if it is a brain, then it is a brain cell.
Ang kailangan.
Yung DNA doon, nagkukonstruct siya ng brain cell.
Ayun.
So, kasi pag lumaki na ang tao, differentiated, although we start from a single cell with total potential, later on it becomes specific. Kumbaga, stomach, heart,
Puso.
liver, or whatever tissues. When it becomes a brain, then some genes there are the ones that are playing a role to reconstruct the brain. All the
Ayun.
others are silent.
So, parang ano ho, Doctor, kumbaga sa tayo, this is us, tayo yung tao, and then may mga organs tayo, yung organs
to
natin
reconstruct the organ
is made of tissues, and then the tissues are made of cells. And then the cells is made of chromosomes, and then the DNA. Ganun po
course,
ba yun? So, kailangan doon sa ugat.
Kung sa perspective of cell growth and development or even recuperation and regeneration, then in order to rebuild a new and pristine cells, not the abnormal cells, you need to have a nucleotide. Ito yung nakaligtaan ng medical therapeutics. Kumbaga, I am presenting a new paradigm of medical therapeutics whereby kung gusto mong iayos yung isang sakit, umpisa ka dun sa pinaka-basis, like
Sa punot dulo.
sa pulot dulo. Kasi kung bibigyan mo lang siya ng drugs para magamot yung cell, anong gamutin mo? Lanta na nga. Anong gamutin mo? Nasira na nga. Anong gamutin mo? Abnormal na nga. So, balik tayo dun sa definition ng tumor muna. Kasi a tumor could be a cancer.
Okay.
Kasi kuminsan kasi ang tumor at saka cancer, it is used interchangeably. Pag sinabi mong tumor, bagong cell, neoplasm, hindi siya taga-riyan.
Ayun.
Ang itsura niya, brain siya pero hindi siya taga-riyan. So yun ang secondary tumor. Pero yung primary tumor, ibig sabihin, brain cell na siya, nagiging tumor.
Naging
abnormal. Kaya
Ayun.
primary yun.
Ayun.
I would like to tell you na yung brain tumor na primary, bihira lang yun. Very rare.
So, usually galing sa ibang parte?
Usually, pag may brain tumor, galing sa ibang parte ng katawan.
Paano po nakatulong yung alternatibong paraan ni Annabelle?
According to clinical studies, tumor begins with a abnormal or low levels of nucleotides. Meaning to say that if there is a low level supply of nucleotides, there will be an error in the DNA.
Ayun.
So, bakit nagkaroon ng tumor? Bakit nagkaroon ng neoplasm? Kasi nga, abnormal yung supply ng nucleotides.
Ayun. Ang nucleotide po ba, iyan yung nagko-compose ng DNA?
Yun ang sangkap ng DNA.
Yun ang sangkap. So, kailangan pagka yung
pag kulang ka ng nucleotide, pag kulang ka
mali.
ng sangkap, magkaroon ng aberya yung synthesis ng cell.
So, doon nagkakaroon ng problema sa puso.
Yun ang nakaligtaan ng medical therapeutics. Kasi pag sinabing buhay na tayo, lumaki na tayo, ang akala natin in place na yung mga ganon. Pero life is dynamic kasi namamatay din yung cells. After the cells die, you have to have a replacement. Nakalimutan na ang replacement pala ng cell, umpisa pala doon sa mga nucleotide supply. Tayo, ang katawan ng tao, mayroong dalawang supply ng nucleotides. Nasa loob ka pa ng sinapupunan ng mother mo or the womb of your mother while nagpe-pregnant siya. Ang source ng nucleotides doon, de novo synthesis. Ibig sabihin, bagong nucleotides na binibigay either from the mother or yung bata mismo nag-synthesize. Kaya ang buntis na mama, usually binibigyan sila ng folic acid para mag-rebuild ng panibagong nucleotides para dun sa tumutubo na bata. Ang pangalawang supply ng nucleotides ay galing sa pagkain. Ang bata hindi pa na kumakain. Ibig sabihin, a growing fetus or a growing baby inside the womb of the mother depends on the nucleotides from the mother or the nucleotides na yung talagang ginawa ng bata through the supplementation of the mother. Ngayon, kailangan ang mother mag-supplement para ma-augment or yung nucleotide supply because there is no new cell without a new nucleotide.
Ayun.
Kasi ito without DNA synthesis, there will be no cell division. That is the principle.
So, kailangan
Kailangan mag-duplicate mo na yung DNA bago mag-duplicate yung cell. Yun ang principle
So, nasisira yun, napapalitan,
Kailangan, pag dumami yung cell, kailangan na maraming nucleotides.
So, Doc, ang sabi nyo, ang nucleotide, pinaka-importante yan. Kasi bago po itong nucleotide at saka DNA supplementation, alam natin, mga stem cell, mga ganyan. So, after DNA, wala na.
Wala na, that's the most
Yun ay
fundamental.
pinaka-fundamental. So, makukuha po ba sa IMUREGEN ang supplement ng DNA?
Basically, IMUREGEN is nucleotides plus some oligopeptides and
All the other ingredients. So, dapat po ba nilang inumin kung sila ay merong problema ganito na sa kanilang karamdaman?
Dapat talaga. Sa may karamdaman o wala, ang IMUREGEN or ang nucleotides ay kailangan. Dahil nga, there is no cell division unless the DNA is duplicated. How could you duplicate something which is not there?
So, ano po ang inyong pwedeng ipayo sa ating mga televiewers para po sila po ay makaiwas pag nalaman nilang sila may tumor o kahit na anong karamdaman nila?
If you supply with IMUREGEN, which is actually nucleotides, the mechanism involved there is the IMUREGEN being a nucleotide will now improve the immune system so that the immune system now, the white blood cells, particularly the T cells and the B cells, will now attack the tumor and destroy them one by one.
Although marami pa akong gustong malaman sa inyo, so sa susunod po na episode natin, nandito ulit si Dr. Oclarit para bigyan kayo ng mas malalim pa na kaalamanan sa DNA supplementation. Dahil ngayon po, ang sagot sa ating mga karamdaman nasa punot dulo galing, doon natin tatalakayin. So, marami